I'm traveling to Europe for 6 weeks using a particular packing method to try and travel carry-on only. I'm Ash, I've travelled to over 60 countries and I'm still continuing to refine my carry-on only packing style. Today I'll show you the luggage I'm using, what I'm packing, how I'm packing, and the method I'm using to help guide me. So I'm pretty fortunate in my life that travel makes up a big part of it. I've actually made it my job working in tourism, specifically working as a tour guide. So over the years, I've naturally been able to refine my packing style, but it's only been in more recent years that I've actually tried purposefully to travel carry-on only. I personally find traveling carry-on a lot more convenient. You don't have to lug big bags around. You breeze out of the airport once you arrive, and you don't have to worry about whether your bags are actually going to arrive on the conveyor belt at the airport as well. Since COVID though, I would say that this has become a bit more of a challenge, with budget or European airlines in general really cracking down on the dimensions and the weight of carry-on bags. So even for me, it's still a challenge as well. So for our trip, my boyfriend and I will be spending the majority of our time in Estonia, which is where he's from. But we'll also be attending a wedding in London, and we'll have brief visits in Latvia and Moldova, plus stopovers in Stockholm and Bangkok, which is where I'm coming to you from now, because I didn't have time to film this before we left. I have been to Estonia before, but it's our first time traveling there together, so it's going to be really special. And there's also nothing like having a local show you around a place too, so stay tuned later in our travels for some tips. With the exception of Bangkok, I'd say that most of these European destinations that we're visiting are actually generally pretty mild in the summertime. Say Estonia's summer won't be as hot as Spain or Italy, for example. I'm actually wondering if it'll be pretty comparable to Tasmania's summertime, which is where we currently live. I'm thinking we can expect mostly fine days with a chance of rain here and there, especially in London. So for the trip, my main carry-on bag will be this Cotopaxi Allpa 42L bag. I used this for a 3.5 to 4 month trip that we took last year as a carry-on, and it is an awesome bag. However, it's the width or depth of the bag that can pose issues in terms of carry-on dimensions, so proceed with caution. Still, I love that it has all of these various built-in compartments, including this compartment at the back here, which has a laptop sleeve. There is also this main compartment here, which is where I'll be packing all of my clothes, and this other compartment over here where I tend to pack my shoes, because that's actually quite a nice deep compartment. And there's this other compartment at the top here as well. And this one at the very front, which is comprised of more compartments, and this is where I tend to pack my toiletries and other miscellaneous items. Moving on to my personal item, I love Fjallraven Kanken products. I think I have the Kanken in just about every version that exists, and this one here, the Kanken Classic, is actually an upgrade from the Kanken laptop that I used to have, or I still do have, but it's actually about 10 years old now. So this was a recent upgrade for that in the last few months. In this, I'll be packing my electronics, my pharmaceutical or, like first aid items, and my documents as well, like my passport, of course. So I mentioned earlier that I'll be using a packing method to help guide what I'm packing. And the method is trying to stick to a capsule wardrobe, and in particular the 5-4-3-2-1 packing method that you've potentially heard of already. This method comprises of 5 t-shirts or tops, 4 bottoms, 3 outer layers, 2 pairs of shoes, and 1 dress or equivalent item. So like I said, it's very much a guide, and this particular method doesn't include things like underwear or bathers, pajamas, things like that. And I will definitely be bringing a few extra items in addition to all of that, like some activewear, which actually doubles as my plain fit, which I have on already, and pajamas, definitely some extra shoes because I find two really tricky to stick to. So like I said, it's certainly just a guide. I always use a packing list, but this is the first time I've actually come up with a list as detailed as I have. So shout out to Katie Steckley, who I follow on YouTube and Instagram, for the inspiration. While my list is not as aesthetically pleasing as Katie's, this was definitely a way for me to help visualize how all of the items can be paired together, which is the whole point of a capsule wardrobe, and again, be more intentional with the items that I've packed. So 5 shirts, including a couple of hemp shirts and this little linen blend number here as well. And 4 pairs of bottoms. I realize this includes 2 pairs of jeans, which probably isn't going to help my weight situation, considering the weather that we spoke about before, and it's not going to be like very hot European summer. I know that I'm still going to wear pants quite a bit, and for me, jeans are super comfortable. I live in jeans at home, so they're worth packing in my personal opinion for me. Next is 3 outer layers. And this is my 2 pairs of shoes, which you can clearly see is more than 2. And number 1, a dress or equivalent. So I've opted for this cute little set, which is what I'll be wearing to the wedding that we're attending. I hope it'll be dressy enough, and I thought this was clever to bring because it's literally another top and another bottom to go with all my tops and bottoms. I have also bought 1 more pair of leggings. And finally, pajamas. And here are also my toiletries. Wow, I'm super basic with all my MCO Beauty products. And look, you're probably thinking that's a lot of liquids for carry-on. And you're not wrong, I am treading a very fine line. I know a lot of people use products like shampoo bars, for example, to help reduce their liquids, which is amazing. For me personally, I know the products that I prefer to use, so it is worth treading that very fine line. And to make up the remainder of items in my carry-on, we have a few miscellaneous bits as well. Some of these items, to be honest, are quite unique to me personally, or just this trip in general. So to pack this bag and my clothes in particular, I use a bit of a mix of the KonMari style of folding, as well as rolling and just normal folding my clothes into the Cotopaxi. I will also use this packing cube for my underwear, socks, bathers, and there's even a belt in here too. I'm generally a big advocate for packing cubes, but I have found in this main compartment of the Cotopaxi, it's really not necessary apart from this particular packing cube with my underwear. If anything, packing cubes in this space can make it actually feel quite rigid. So I find not using packing cubes, again, apart from this one, in this space here, just gives it almost a little bit more flex, which is important for carry-on because it looks less bulky, if that makes sense. So I will pack this section like so. So in this section here is where my shoes will go, in packing cubes as well, just to keep things nice and clean. Contacts are all living in here. And so then my toiletries and miscellaneous items in the front here. Moving on to my personal item, which is the Kenken. This just has like a big main compartment here. Okay, so my laptop will fit nicely in the bottom here. The laptop's not actually in there right now, but it is a 14-inch laptop and it actually fits perfectly in the bottom of the Kenken. So just so you know, so my electronics will all go in this packing cube here. And this here is my little pharmacy or chemist, as I like to call it. I totally understand that you can purchase most, all of the things that are in here when you arrive at your destination. But I am the kind of person that I like to have a few bits and pieces like this on hand when I arrive in a destination. So if I do have a headache overnight, or I wake up with bad allergies.
Hello, it's me from the future just reviewing some of this footage, and if that's not foreshadowing, I don't know what is, because I have had the most atrocious allergies on this trip. Today in particular, I would probably rank as the worst day of my allergies. Oh my gosh, am I so glad that I bought antihistamines, especially because in Australia, the dosage is way higher of the active ingredient than it is here in Europe. And sadly, I've run out of my Australian hay fever medication that I brought with me. Today was like the last tablet I took. So wish me luck for the remainder of our trip, that this might be the last bad day.
So that's gonna go just in there. We have looking glasses, sunglasses, wallet, and passport. I'm the kind of person that in the past I've always traveled with a money belt or some sort of bum bag, like my Kenken bum bag, but this trip I haven't bought anything like that along. We'll see if I regret that or not. So now you guys have seen my luggage, you've seen what I've packed, I've explained the method that I've used to help guide me in my packing. And I've also been honest to voice my concerns over the dimensions of my bag, and look who really knows about the weight as well. But at the very least, I hope you can see that there is a way that you can take a minimalist approach to packing, especially for a longer period of time, and not look like a complete dag. So thank you for watching, and I hope that I'll see you later on in the travels. Thank you. Bye.